Hello again, my internet friends. Chrissy here at A Little Glam, A Lot of Mom. In today's video, I'm going to show you a glimpse inside our homeschool space. If you haven't been around for a while, or just if you don't know, here's a little bit of history. We are a military family, and one of the fun things about being a military family is that every 4-ish years we get to go on a new adventure, and we have a new home as a blank canvas to make ours. If you saw my older homeschool room videos and even playroom videos, in that home we had plenty of space for those rooms, but now being relocated, we are now at an amazing location, beachside, where we are surrounded by water. And so for this home, we opted for more outdoor space and views and a smaller indoor space. So because of that, I had to merge our homeschool room with the rest of our life, but that's exactly what homeschooling is about, right? Life and learning in one. So in this video, you'll see how I've incorporated our homeschool storage to kind of go with the rest of my home. Also, I'm going to add this video to a open collab playlist that is hosted by Jessica at The Waldock Way and Abby at Rooted in Rest. Every month they have an open collaboration where they open up this playlist. Homeschool YouTubers can join in and include their video in the playlist for whatever theme or topic has been chosen for that month. I've already watched most of the videos in this month's playlist, and you're not going to want to miss out on that, so I will link that playlist down below for you. So our highest shelf holds picture books, seasonal and nature books, and our cultural books as well. The second tier holds more of our seasonal nature books. So here we have spring and summer. We have a few yoga books and reference books like our women in history books. Some of the kids' favorite early readers like Little Bear, Mouse Tales, of course, Frog and Toad. Our 4-season books by Gerda Mueller, and my favorite vintage Beatrix Potter books. And below that, we have some loose parts in these repurposed candle jars. Our traveling or geography suitcase, I've featured this before, I believe. So I just collect trinkets or collectibles from around the world, and we keep them in this box for the kids to explore. And then we also have our letters from Afar. We actually had to put a pause on that subscription for a while. This tin container is from Target Bullseye, and I like it because it has a lid. So in here I keep scissors and glue sticks and hole punch and glue, just all of those primary colorful type of supplies. This caddy is from Walmart. I actually found it in the clearance section. I found 2 of them, and so this holds more loose parts. These are our Grimm's large marbles, wooden rings, and Grimm's pebbles. 2 more of those tin containers from Target, and the bottom one holds more loose parts. So we have some wooden eggs, the bottoms of our Christmas tree trunks that we collect, so these are from years past, and just other random wooden pieces for loose parts play. And in the top tin, we like to keep items that we take outdoors. So our flower press, our bird call, whistle, we have a Hape magnifying glass in here, a compass, things of that nature. In this beautiful Bolga basket, I hold some of Luna's like open-ended play materials. So in this canvas bag, there are some sensory bin wooden toys like pots and pans and scoops. Here we have our dough stamps and rollers, and this is a play scene from Sarah's Silks. The next basket holds everything silks, so our play silks, most from Sarah Silks, some that we've made ourselves, our streamers, and our Sarah Silks crowns. Next to the shelf, we have a basket of Holst Tiger wooden animals. We love those for stacking and counting and just playing. Our Grimm's large stepped pyramid. I keep this large basket under here that we homeschool out of during special days, holidays, or slower and gentler seasons. It's usually empty, but I still have some resources in here that we used for our first week back to school after our holiday Christmas break. I have a video coming up about how we homeschool out of this basket. It's going to be Valentine's Day themed, so stay tuned for that video. All right, moving right along this wall is this little nook, and this is where my mama teacher chair lives. You've seen it in previous videos. I sit here throughout the day for read alouds and for my own reading. I found a new home for my favorites, our Welcome to the Museum series. It just seemed natural that they sit next to me. Below this thrifted magazine rack, they lived high on a shelf where no one can reach, and so they were getting zero love. But now my littlest are now conscious about and gentle enough to care for our books. One of my favorite plant babies lives right above me in this nook too. Her name is Soli, and she's a spider plant or spider ivy. But who am I kidding? Every nook in my house has a plant, and I really can't pick a favorite. We have this vintage schoolhouse-like desk for a quick additional seating the days I don't want to pull out the craft table. I made a reel recently on Instagram jokingly about how no one uses their desks, rather the dining table, and I got so much feedback on families relating to that. So apparently the vintage schoolhouse desk is a staple in homeschooling homes everywhere, but to be clear, we do actually use it. As a matter of fact, the young ones would argue over who gets to sit in it, and so we've had to create a rotation. Anyway, our marker and colored pencils, Caddy. This guy is a wanderer, doesn't have a home today, it's just here. There is storage underneath the chair that we are utilizing. So we have our Montessori wooden alphabet. We have two big books that don't fit on our shelves, our beloved Atlas, and also a neat 2-in-1 book, Underwater and Under Earth. In this little nook here, we have the beginnings of a specimen wall. On the wall, we have a floating shelf that holds some of our favorite nature literature and nature field guides type of reference books. We're using a shadow box to label and display some of our findings, and the same for the crescent moon wall shelf. It's our schoolhouse logo, the Moonlit Schoolhouse. Before I move on to the top of our cubed shelves, I know that every homeschooler utilizes the side shelf gaps for storage, right? So we have several boards here, a chalkboard for handwriting, an art board, a dough board, and our dry erase. Moving to the top of the cube shelves, here we have our glass paint jars and the wooden holder. This second caddy is the one that I mentioned I found at Walmart, and this one holds our Fandix family field guides, our handheld microscope, which is actually the only one we have now. Our tabletop one sadly gave out, pencils, and highlighters. More of our nature reference books, field guides, like our treasured Julia Rothman collection. This is the By Jennifer home calendar that I did show in my last video, which was a haul video. It's our newest material and we're loving it so far. It's unfortunate that we don't have a giant space for our seasonal tables anymore, so we use this tray to display the calendar, our seasonal book, an animal that represents the season for us, and always a beeswax rolled candle. I am missing a silk this season. There's some storage from the holder that's holding the calendar. So behind there, I keep our art for the week from our artist portfolios from Simply Charlotte Mason and a chalkboard. Our beautiful entertainment box lives on the cube shelves. And then we have these super pretty straw stackable baskets. I think these are from IKEA. One holds our rocks and stones, and the smaller one holds all of our pressed flowers. All right, so I can't go into every cube, but the gist of it, on this shelf, the top row of bins are all science bins. For example, this is the ocean bin, so I have books, activity books, puzzles, games, any ocean type of unit study guide or curriculum that I print and I keep in binders. I also have hands-on resources like Safari LTD tubes and 3-part cards. Here is our space bin, the same idea, any type of board games, books, activity books, puzzles, you get the idea. We have several of these science bins, so we have dinosaurs, reptiles, amphibians, human body, just a few of our past science unit studies and nature studies that I just keep out for the kids to come back to and explore when they wish. And then all the bins in the row underneath holds our geography bins, also known as our continent bins. This bin doubles up for the continent of Asia and the continent of Africa. And again, the same type of resources, some of our favorite cultural books for each continent, printable activities, hands-on activities. Each continent has a binder where I store those type of printable activities. This is our North America bin, and it's plentiful because we have a lot of our national parks resources in here. I've put up a video in the past of our geography continent shelves. Although it has evolved a bit since then, you'll still get a general idea of what's in our continent shelves. So I will link that video for you. All right, and our next shelf over has a variety of bins. We have 2 math bins. This is one of them, and it is a bit messy. I didn't clean this up before the video, but we have all sorts of math resources in here. Fall counters, bear counters. We have our bingo chips, some of our flashcards that we've made, math logic puzzles, and bingo. These are wooden 3D shapes from The Good and the Beautiful math box or math activity box. Several of our books, more printables, 10 frames, hundreds board. Apparently this bin just goes on and on. I passed on our nature journaling cart, and so everything has been rehomed to this bin. And 2 bins on this shelf are for blocks. So these are our sum blocks, number blocks, and our wooden, large wooden domino blocks. These are so fun for various numeracy and fundamentals in math activities. The second block bin is for all of our Picasso tiles. This shelf also holds the kids' individual bins. They're a bit messy and cluttered because honestly we haven't cleaned it out since the beginning of the school year. So you're going to get a look of that. But as an example, this is Luna's bin. She has some of her favorite board books that we use for language, her letter tiles as well that we use for different activities, activity books like scissor activity books and sticker activity books, and then her binder, which holds what's supposed to be her curriculum. She's using the pre-K from The Good and the Beautiful. We don't do that every day, but if she does feel like doing some worksheet type of work, that binder is prepared and available for her. My husband and son built us storage shelves, but because they're right above our couch, I really had to be mindful and intentional about not cluttering these shelves. So I just use straw, natural like baskets, and in them we have things like our felt, our yarn, peg dolls, our beeswax candle kits because it does stay pretty cool in our living room. And then all of our overhaul clutter, because if you're a seasoned homeschool, you will accumulate overhaul, is in this small linen closet that works out perfectly because it's just a few steps away from our homeschool space. And so in here we have old curriculum, some overhaul of art supplies and school supplies. Our printer also lives in here, and my record keeping for the kids. And something that you did not see in our homeschool space, and you may be wondering where it is, our beautiful morning basket, and that basket lives in the living room. All right, guys, that's the end of this video. And if you're going to comment about the abundance of homeschool resources or books or toys that we have, please keep in mind that we are a large family. This is for 5 children, and we're going on our 6th year of homeschooling. I hope to encourage those families that do not have a classroom. We are a family that came from having a classroom, a schoolroom, to now not having that. And I just want to tell you that it's okay. We are not going without. We are actually very happy with all gathering around together. You can homeschool in your own way, and your family will learn and live and be together and thrive.